Welcome. I am Daisy, your hostess, and in this video, I will be providing a comprehensive look at the week ahead for October 17th through the 23rd. The video will be a smorgasbord of goodies. I will be sharing the lunar influences as it moves through the various constellations during the next week and how it may influence or affect us depending on which constellation it's going through. And then I will be offering a one-card draw for each day of the week coming next week, starting on Monday and concluding on Sunday. And I will also be doing what I call angels and demons, the hit or miss, things that may affect us if we allow this to manifest, or things that we can reject. It's a choice. We have free will. So we will do a draw on that. Also, I will be providing a message for each of the elements in the zodiac. So we will group all the fire elements together, the air, the water, and the earth. So we'll provide a message for each one of you as a collective here for all of us. And that will be followed by a numerology influence, where I will draw a number at random and see how that influence will affect us during the week and talk about that. And then I will do a reading for one of the questions provided by you, our fortune forecast community. So we will go through that, and we will conclude with a 1-minute meditation where I ring the bell. You can close your eyes, and in that minute you can have a sense of presence and feel yourself in the here and now if you wish. And we conclude it with our week affirmation. So stick around, enjoy, let's get started. In this section, we will now look at the lunar influence for October 17th through October 23rd. The moon and the stars in the heavens have been such a fascination for us since time immemorial, and even gardeners use the different phases of the moon for gardening. And the moon will travel through various constellations and remain there as it's moving between a period of 2 to 3 days. And it will travel the full constellation, about approximately 29 days or so. The way that I see the moon as a magnifying glass, and as it moves through a constellation, it magnifies the vibrations and energies and qualities of the constellation that it's traveling in. So it doesn't matter what sun sign you're in, we all are affected or touched by or kissed by the moon and the different constellations as it moves through them. So starting our week with Monday, we are experiencing the moon transitioning through Cancer. So it's in its last travel through Cancer. And what does that mean for all of us? One of the things is that Cancer is already ruled by the moon, so expect the feelings and emotions to be a little bit more elevated than normal. At the same time, we may feel impulsed to do and pursue the things that we want to do, and we might feel that we are in that same moment feeling even a little bit more sensitive than normal, especially if you are not a water sign. Then these are the emotions that are going to be coming into play. If you're a water sign, well, imagine now this is times 10, right? Our water signs being Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Yet all of us will be influenced and affected by the magnification of the moon traveling through Cancer. So coming Monday, we're going to be feeling a little bit sweet, a little bit tender, maybe a little bit moody for some of us. And when it comes to addressing different things in, let's say, our home life, there may be a feeling of being what I would call more nurturing, more protective, more of that sense that maybe we want to stay closer to home. You may not feel that you want to be traveling far away from home, especially on Monday. Kind of get what you need to get done, but you're going to feel much more comfortable when you're at your home base. One of the things that you need to look out for is that possibly because of this influence, There may be a sense that you might be depending on others a little bit too much, or it could be the opposite. It might be that you might be overprotective, feeling that sense of maybe mothering, nurturing might be a little bit too much, might be called smothering instead of mothering. So these are the influences that will kind of be at stake as the moon travels through Cancer on Monday. Moving on to Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we will be feeling the influence of Leo the Lion in the zodiac element of fire. So definitely we're going to see things being fired up a little bit. And let's remember, on Thursday, there will be a transition more towards that 1600 hours, which could be 4 o'clock, as it moves away from Leo and steps into Virgo constellation. So let's take a look at some of the influences that we will be feeling with the Leo moon on Tuesday, Wednesday, and parts of Thursday. The moon in Leo is going to bring us a sense of wanting to be a little bit more creative, but in the sense of the me. We want to really express ourselves. We want our voice to be heard. We want the spotlight on us. And guess what? The fire signs, your Leos, your Aries, and your Sagittarius are quite fine in the heat of all that attention. But it's quite interesting that some of the other signs that are a little bit more low profile are wanting to be heard. They want their voice. They want to be seen. They want to be noticed, and they want to be appreciated. So in that sense, they're going to be that feeling of moving forward with confidence in the things that you believe. And that's the beauty of it, because you see, when you have something that you're passionate about, you will stand firm and very confident in that. And you may find Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday that there are some things that you want the truth about. You want to stand on the truth about what you know about these things, and you're very confident standing on that truth and on that platform. Some of the other things to expect on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, possibly when it comes to relationships and love, this is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The window is open to really enjoy people, enjoy your partner, enjoy the relationships that you're in. It is about showing off that love, whether through gifts, through celebration, through just going out, through really enjoying things. The only thing that's really important as we move through these next 3 days is to be careful not to let the ego take over. Too often the lion goes into the jungle and roars and shakes up things, and then what? You might regret what you started. So it's important to, if there are any confrontations, to avoid getting your way at the cost of others. At the end of the day, these people are part of your tribe. These people are either, as I've said before, you are the star, and these other people are your co-stars. Without them, you don't have a movie. Whether it's the bad guy, good guy story, whatever story you're making up in life, we need all these. So it's a way as we approach the things that we do and learning how we are being influenced so that we can step into every situation from a high place of love, compassion, peace, and caring. All right, as we move out of Thursday and into Friday and Saturday, we will continue to feel the lunar influence traveling through Virgo. This is all about rhythm. It's about getting things done. It's about now focusing on what needs to get done as a 1, 2, 3. If you've got to-do lists, this is the time where you want to break out your to-do list because you want to get a bunch of things done and you want to get them done in a very systematic order. So you want to some of you might feel, whether when it comes to your health, that you want to get yourself back on a routine, getting back to the gym, getting back to your exercise, getting back on a diet. It's funny because I know we've got November coming around the corner, and so a lot of people want to start their diets now so that they can enjoy their Thanksgiving. That's real funny. Whatever that is the influence of Virgo asking us to get organized and to get focused and to get back into some healthy routines. That is what we get. Now, one thing that we need to keep in mind also about things that could go wrong, because with the Virgos, there's a lot of analytical thinking. And with that energy comes maybe overthinking. And then there's this thing called paralysis by overanalysis. And so that's what's important, to avoid being paralyzed with too much pre-planning and then no action gets done. So that's one thing you do not want to get caught up on Thursday, towards a latter part of Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, is finding that you're sitting there doing too much planning and no action is happening, or the desire that you might want to blame other people for things not happening. So look out for that Friday, Saturday, not to get so overtaxed into something that you might want to blame other people for the things that did not get done. Definitely use this beautiful earth energy, especially this Virgo energy that's very pragmatic, to tap into being organized, to tap into whatever you can to do the plans that you need, but also think ahead that you can execute them, okay? As the moon continues to move through the heavens, then moving out of Virgo, and on Sunday, it steps into Libra. Libra falls in as one of the cardinal signs, and Libras are known to be the doers. Definitely, they're not afraid to initiate anything. They're ready to get started, whether it's at a party, whether it's at work, whether it's a project. They are the initiators. They are the doers, and they're not afraid to start things up. So with the moon in Libra, come Sunday, it is a time to take a look at what's been working at work, what's been working in the relationship, what's been working in your teams, what's been working everywhere, because it is this energy in Libra is asking us to balance things out. Sunday, we can find ourselves trying to balance things out. What worked? What didn't work? We can find ourselves really trying to look at the situations that are before us and find the balance, find the sweet spot, whether it's the balance of work and play. It's about also what is fair and what is right. As we've seen the Libra holding the scale, looking to measure things, what is right, what is fair. So Sunday might bring us closer to that relationships, closer to our finding balance, closer to finding peace and harmony in our lives. And we may be contemplating these things as well. We need to be careful, though, that we don't lose ourselves in our desire to do what is right, in our desire to be fair. It is important that we don't overextend ourselves. So there we have it. That is the lunar influence for the week of October 17th through the 23rd. All right, in this section, I will be providing a one-card draw for each day of the week of October 17 through the 23rd. So let's go ahead and lay out our players and see what we can expect for this coming week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay, let's see what will be revealed. Monday. So we see here a very similar theme that we already felt with the moon's influence. We see the moon here showing up, and it's traveling through Cancer. Cancer is a water sign. There's a lot of water here, even though this is the Two of Swords, meaning that we are somewhat torn up with an idea. We're torn up about a decision. We don't know which way to go with this. And it's possibly because we have the blinders on and we don't want to let go of the way that we're thinking about this. So if we don't let go of our patterns, our old behaviors, our old thoughts, how can we even take time to lift the veil? So that's the question. Are we choosing not to see something that's there? But then again, that's putting ourselves, we are the ones that are putting ourselves in this very unique situation where we're not choosing to remove this blindfold, because we're probably a couple things. Hopeful that maybe things are going to dissolve itself, or maybe the problem's going to disappear. But I'm going to tell you one thing: avoiding the problem does not make the problem go away. So could this be a situation that you're trying to choose between a relationship, between someone that, interested parties? Or could this be that there's so much going on and you don't know how to balance your family life, your work life, and your love life? Or could this also mean that, there could be opportunities for employment or career, and several companies have called you back and you just don't undecided which one to pick? Or maybe a promotion and you're not too sure if you're going to say yes because of the responsibilities. Or are you avoiding to make a financial decision? Maybe there's something that you need to do, maybe an investment that you need to make. You're not quite sure. Well, if you don't remove the blinders, you can't look at the fine print, you can't look at the contract, you can't do the research. So Monday is going to find you kind of in a conundrum with trying to make a decision about something. Tuesday. Okay. The gallant knight now wants to move forward. What is coming your way? We have the Knight of Pentacles here. What do we have? What does he bring us? We see him on his black steed. We see him with his armor, protected and ready to do the job. We know one thing, that there is a loyalty here. There is a sense of protecting what is already has come before it. So on Tuesday, we are having a sense of getting things done, accomplishing things, moving forward with the commitment that we've made to whomever. Could be a person, could be a company, could be a project that we've started and we finally come to terms with it. Maybe the time of indecision is over, and today, on Tuesday, you have a better, clear mind as how you want to proceed. We do have Leo energy working with us. We have that fiery energy of Lion, who wants to be seen, who wants to be recognized, who wants to make his mark on the situation or wherever he's at this moment. So there is a sense here, whether it's in love or career, a sense that you want to move forward with this and you are okay with putting in the effort and the hard work that comes with that dedication. So when it comes to a project, you have decided that there is no need to continue researching. Finding out that the good and old tried ways are working. Let's continue moving forward with this. Sometimes going with the flow is not a bad idea. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So this is the mindset as you work through Tuesday and managing things. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Let's move on. We've got the tools with us. We've got the ability. I've made up my mind. Wednesday. Payoff. Definitely paying off. The decisions you made are paying off in so many ways. So this is the 10 of Pentacles. In the 10 of Pentacles, we see a sense of completion. The indecision that we had on Monday has already moved forward. We had the courage and the steadfastness to move the course on Tuesday. And so come Wednesday, here we are, kind of really feeling good that the decision we made has paid off. It shows here of coming together, projects coalescing, whether it's a family project or whether it was at work. So we see that everything is flowing. There is harmony. There's cooperation. There is a sense of completion and a sense that this was a good decision that you made, and moving forward, everything is in harmony, whether it be at work or it be at home. We could see family here. We see people coming together. We see loyalty in this sense with the 10 of Pentacles here, and bringing us through on Wednesday, allowing us to have a sense that what we're doing is worth it. You feel like, yes, you feel like if you're at work, you feel confident moving forward with the company, with the choice you made, with the environment. You also feel at home in Also, when it comes to the home life or in a relationship, the relationship has reached a milestone. It's reached a level of maturity here where better decisions are being made, possibly even the prospects of talking about family and things like that. So in the end, even when we look at this financially, Wednesday could be a breakthrough for many of you financially. There could be so many possibilities here, from a windfall, from a contract, from a deal, that the opportunities are just showing a very positive outcome when it comes to even money. Thursday. All right, so we have the Five of Cups. And interesting, because here we have all this kind of from an indecisive to kind of all this good stuff happening, and then Thursday comes along, and then we have the Five of Cups. We see something has spilled, something has happened. And what could that have been? It seems like rather abruptly. If you remember earlier in the reading during the Lunar Influence, on Thursday, the moon transitions in the afternoon into the constellation of Virgo. So this could be also V for Virgo. Pretty interesting about that. So we go from this ego-centered, me lion, roaring with full confidence, to now something has happened, bringing us back down to earth. And what could that be? What could that be in this situation? Maybe something in a relationship, something happened in your relationship. Maybe there's a breakup. Maybe there's a news about someone moving, someone leaving, someone moving away, and it has brought you some sadness. So in the area of work, there could be some news that's going to be brought to you that's going to just take you back and take you down a few notches. And if this is related to a financial loss at work, it could be tied with an investment that the company made, or an investment that you made if it's related to work, or a project that you started and it's not going well, or you receive some news that's just brought you down. So it's interesting to see how the lunar influence will affect Thursday. Especially pay attention closer to the afternoon, as that's when it's projected to switch into that position. Let's look at Friday and see if we can move into the weekend. Okay, justice. Justice will be delivered. And here we have a major arcana represented here with justice. Justice and the number 11. The number 11 is a master number. And isn't that interesting? You take 1 and 1 on the scale and you're going to have a balanced scale. So here we have it with the justice coming through. Whatever may have happened on Thursday, now on Friday, new information has been provided that's showing the facts based on truth. And now the pointing of fingers is not going to happen. And at the same time, when it comes into relationship, moving in the direction of relationship, this is about treating each other fairly. And when it comes to personal relationships, this is about not passing judgment. If your partner has done something, it really is about looking at the situation fairly and using that information and not judging based on limited facts, limit only one person's side of the story. You don't know where that information came from. And the best really thing is to put everything out there and show both sides of the story. See both sides of the story fairly before you pass any judgment. When it comes to career, to projects, and to partnerships, this is about the justice of being rewarded for your integrity, being rewarded for your truthfulness, and it has paid off. And so that is a wonderful thing. If you were thinking about finances, well, this is about maintaining that balance, keeping things in harmony, balancing your finances, knowing when to spend a little and also knowing when to save. So keeping that in that perspective, Friday's a great day. It's payday, and that is definitely a great day to execute fair balancing of your budget. Okay, let's move on to Saturday. I'm going to talk about, we're still balancing things here. We have another major arcana, the star. And interesting, the star has number 17. 17, and when you bring it down to its core number, is the number 8. We have this 8-pointed star here, this 8-pointed star. So there is so much more here. As a reminder, we have got the 2 major arcanas. We come in on Friday with a situation that's happened, and things have turned out for the best. And on Saturday, here we are. We're still working with, as you see, the balance scale. We're balancing. There's this nature and the sense that we have come through, and we've gone through a major situation, because this wasn't a small little thing that happened. This was something major that has affected us to the point that now we are comfortable. We're sitting in like a victory seat, like what we see here with the Justice card. But now on the weekend, on Saturday, we're looking at how do we move forward. And it is coming from a sense of power, because the star, while it's here in its beauty, and one thing that I did want to show, when you are coming from your truth, it's literally like you have nothing to hide. As we see the beautiful person here on the star, I have nothing to hide. Take me as I am. I'm speaking my truth. And that was the affirmation for last week, if you remember. So we must have had this energy on this affirmation. But as we speak our truth, things are revealed, but divine inspirations are coming to you. So this is really beautiful as you come into Saturday, feeling the sense that everything is working out in its divine plan. Yes, there were some serious challenges that you lived up to. That's great. And you managed to do it without losing hope. You managed to do it without losing your integrity. You may have suffered, this may have hurt, whether it was in a relationship or something that happened in your career. But now you are here. You probably, for one thing that you probably weren't aware, is how strong you are. But this has showed you how strong you are. And that help comes in so many different ways. From within you, a courage that you didn't know is coming from you. And it's still amazing that even through all that, you still have things to offer. As we look at the water, as water being represented as emotions. And so that is something that we see here. And we also see there's a little bird here. And this could mean that there might be a message, there might be someone bringing you information. And this information is good information. It's something that adds to the sense of peace, the sense of this balance that you have finally restored from the situation that has happened over the week. At the end of the day, we have come through. We have come back to earth. And I say that we have come back to earth, and meaning literally that the influence of Virgo has brought us back down to see things as they are. And at the same time, our faith has only now grown stronger because we have gone through some challenges and we've come through it the better person. Sunday. So one of the things that we see here on Sunday is be a little bit careful. You may have someone involved with you or in your life does not have the best intention, and may not be honest, and can be rather manipulative. On the other hand, this person could also be one person that just takes, but at the same time doesn't have anything to give back and just makes empty promises. So one of the things, if you're going to be around people on Sunday, make sure that you have strength behind your words, that they meet your actions, and don't allow anyone or anything, or even yourself, by not keeping your promises to people, to damage your own reputation. So Sunday, it's going to be really interesting. If you find yourself around people, be careful that the people that may be showing up to play the game with you may not be as sincere, may be manipulative. And you know what's interesting? The moon moves into Libra on Sunday, and Libra is an air sign. So here we have this page of swords, and swords are air signs. So pay close attention to the people that you're interacting. We have this moon moving into Libra, and those characteristics, if you want, just listen to the video earlier and you'll hear what the influence of the Libra moon will be playing throughout on Sunday. So caution with possible deceit or information that is not truthful. Okay, all right. Let's move on to the next section in our comprehensive collective message, and it's angels and demons. What What are going to be the pleasures and the temptations as we move through the week? Okay, angels and demons, temptations. Okay, what is it that we can allow more of? Okay, so here we have the Seven of Swords. It's an air sign, and it talks here about futility. So the person here, we see this person, they're sitting there, they've given up. And what are you going to allow moving forward? And we see here that there are 6 swords still remaining here, and they're still pushing, they're still moving forward. So are you going to allow this situation to continue, or are you going to surrender and give up? So do you feel that this situation is just not worth it? So that's the question that you're going to be dealt with, and possibly more as you get through that Thursday and the situation is presented to you. You know, the question is, are you going to continue, or are you going to allow the manipulation to continue? And that is a question. Or question is, are you going to allow yourself to be manipulated? So what's interesting is we start the week on Monday with indecision. We end the week with someone, or hopefully it's not us, someone being deceitful. And then we're being warned, are we going to allow the deceit to continue? Have we given up the cause? Have we given up on ourselves? So that is the question. So let's see what's the temptations, or what's going to be a miss. Gains. What is it that you might be tempted to give up? And are you willing to give up your long-term dreams? We have the 9 of Pentacles. It's almost like we have reached somewhere, and we tasted this here earlier in the week. And are we going to give up something here? Are we going to give up the battle? Are you willing to give up your long-term goals for a temporary satisfaction? So as you move with this, it's really interesting to see how you will choose to play this as it's presented to you. So there will be an opportunity here that you're going to deal with these things, these 2 energies at play here. And that's interesting. We have the air signs and we have the earth signs. And in that, we feel, by even looking at these 2 cards, we see the yin and the yang, the opposition of each, as these moments will be putting things to the test, and we will be in that struggle. What are we going to allow, and what are we going to reject? All right, let's move on now to the elements of the zodiac. So we'll split them. Awkwardly big. Awkwardly big. Fire. Earth. Air. Water. Okay, the fire signs. Our fire signs are Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. And so here we have a major card. It is in reverse, but we'll take a look at the imagery here, and that it did show up in reverse. It did actually show up in the day of the week here on Saturday, but it was right side up. But some of the things that my fire signs might be dealing with is a sense of losing hope, losing ground, losing faith, losing your motivation. And we could see here how it starts on Monday for you with that sense of, I don't know, what am I going to pick with this? What am I going to do? And which direction should I go? Or, what's the situation here? And so here we've got the sense of the duality also in the balancing here. And as we look at this number, the 17, the 8th is the number of abundance. Maybe you feel like you've lost your way. Maybe you feel like you're out of touch with something. And so the question is, why are you being so hard on yourself? Why have you lost your motivation? Maybe something you might be feeling at work. Maybe your work is not inspiring you. Maybe you're feeling kind of dragged out in your relationship. Maybe you feel like you need a change of scenery. So it is time to ask these very tough questions and ask yourself, why? Why are you allowing this to happen? And to find the answer. Because if you have lost your faith in something, in someone, it is not about looking and holding and creating anchors outside of you. That what you seek is inside of you. And as you make that reconnection, Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius, you will find a renewed sense. You will find a new spark, and you will find that everything is there for you to work with. Do not anchor yourself on the externals. Earth. With the 7 of Cups, we are moving with our earth signs, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. And we see a lot of cups here. We see all these dreams. But maybe what we see is trying to escape from reality, trying to escape from these decisions, trying to, as we see the 7 of Swords here, the 7 of Cups. So these ideas and plans, maybe we're just willing to give up because maybe we feel burdened with the realities of life and the things that are happening. Maybe we're going to give in to some short-term gains instead of the long-term future because we are just overwhelmed right now and it's just a little bit too much. And maybe emotionally we haven't developed another way to cope with what's going on in our life right now. So very tough for the earth signs this week is going to be for sure. Very tough. Air signs. Okay. Whoa, another upside down card. This is the 4 of Swords. It's a lot of action. We have done the thinking, we've done the planning. And it's interesting that even though we start on Monday with the 2 of Swords, you are quickly able to get back on track because the resting period, the deciding period for you is over. You have already seen and planned, and you've seen it in your mind, and you're ready now to move forward with what's ahead for you. And the only thing that we have here is that we do have the emphasis of Swords again here and towards the end on Sunday. So working with those elements as they're moving into play, and the possibility of even considering giving up may be a possibility. You have decided that, hey, you're going to persevere forward, that you have been resting, you have been sitting, and you're just ready to move forward with some action. For the air signs, it's going to be a lot of activity, a lot of get up and go, and a lot of moving forward. Okay, let's move on to the water sign. Oh, the first one that's right side up, the water signs. This is for my Pisces, my Cancer, my Scorpios. You've got the world in your hand this week. Yes, once you get past this obstacle, as you could see, the 2 of Swords, but you have no problem. You get through it just fine, and you're really ready to rock and roll with what is ahead and feeling comfortable, because for you on making this decision isn't so bad, because remember, the moon was in Cancer. That's a water sign. So you're able to work with that water energy to understand and move through that, and then step into with your staff. This is the fire, ready to take action, ready to, and you could see how interesting as you move in on Tuesday, and We've got the Knight here holding, you know, the possibility, the money, the goal, the idea, the project in hand. And here we have my water signs, my Pisces, my Aquarius, and my Cancer, ready to move forward, looking at the scenery ahead, looking at the week ahead, and ready to take action. And so very positive showing up here for our water signs. And we could see the confidence of being able to move forward. Here, it's not just, as we can see, this almost looks like the Ace of Wands, the beginning, but this has gone past the beginning stage, because now you've got two of these, and you've got it secure. You're very secure about this idea moving forward. This is definitely a card of progression, a card of activity, a card of action, and you have the ability, you have the knowledge, you have the resources here, and you're going to have definitely incredible results with this and cooperation in the long term. So definitely this is a wonderful card for our water signs as we're moving into this very successful week, with that little minor bump coming in on Sunday, but you'll be alert to this now that you know, to be alert for, you know, liars and cheaters. You don't want them hampering your projects or your future dreams here. You don't want someone coming in and, you know, messing with your game, because you've got big plans ahead for you. You have big plans, and they're going to work out for you. All right, so we're going to move now to the fortune forecast community question, brought to you by you. All right, so the question, look at that. I'll choose one of these because there's still 3 of them in there. So the question of the week was, how can I improve my relationship with my partner? Okay, so take this as a collective. This is one person that brought that question in, but there may be others with that same question. So bingo. We'll definitely be able to help the many. Okay, so the question is, how? So we have the 4 of Wands. So the 4 of Wands here, and it is placed with the 9 of Pentacles. Oh, there's more cards here. Okay. So while the 4 of Wands here is showing a tower that's upside down, obviously this person is having some issues in the home life or in the relationship, and they're looking for stability. So the question is, what is going on and how do we do that? So obviously we have the 5. The 5 of Wands here is represent, wow, Wands and Wands. Isn't that something? So it's with the 5 of Wands, we could see here where, you see how we cross here with the 4 again, but it's about giving way to new ideas. It's about change. The 5 of Wands says you might be a little bit too stubborn, you may not want to change your ways, but the way to move forward, the way to make your relationship work, the way to improve your relationship is to be willing to give a little, to be willing to change. And it's not changing the foundation, it is changing the core. It is changing as we do an evolution. You know, like the tree, it stays in its spot, but it changes with the seasons. It changes part of its beauty. And then it's taught here we have the 9 of Pentacles. And think about that as you move forward with this relationship. What do you get? Look at this beautiful person here, surrounded by beauty, abundance, communication. You open up the communication portal. You do that by changing at the core, and you change the way you speak. What is your language with your partner right now? Are you expressive enough? Are you communicative? Do you talk about your feelings? Do you talk about your needs? Do you talk about the future and the goals? What is going on? And as you change that, as you change yourself in allowing for that communication to open, then you are opening a dialogue that will feel safe to grow through. And what else can we see in this in the future? Well, 3 of Pentacles, more Pentacles. Well, what's important is that it's a work in progress. You cannot make empty promises. This is not about the roses and the dinners. This is not about a one-time thing. Dedication to your partner. It is about the growth of two beings going from the stage that you are now to the next stage. And it is willing to be there for these transformations that will take place. So it's not a one-time quick fix formula, my dear one. It is a full-time dedication to you and to that person. And they will be changing. They will be changing because life will be changing. And when life changes, we change. We may not think of it as ourselves. Oh, I've always been the same. I've never changed. Truthfully, my dear one, look back at your life. You've changed. How have you changed? If you really ask, you will see that you have. And the people around you have changed because of those changes. Sometimes the circle of friendships change because of those changes. Sometimes our environment changes because of those changes. So we need to be a little bit flexible with our partners and be willing to welcome change. Not only their change, their transformation, their growth, but also the changes that you are going through. You may not think you're the one that's changing, but with every year, you grow a little older. You grow a little wiser and maybe a little more set in your ways. The thing is, change is there. Change is subtle. Change is happening. And it's constant work. That we stay true and communicative and expressive with our partner, and there will always be beauty and abundance in surplus. Okay, there you have it. Let's move on now to the numerical influence and do our number draw. All right, let's see what number will influence us here for the week of October 17th through the 23rd. Okay, so we have the number 8. We have a 5 and a 3. We can get that into a minute, but the number 8 is about our personal power. If we move into this situation, if we give into the things that we're trying to create of stability, are we going to be giving up some of our personal freedom? That is reflected with the number 5. Are we going to be dealing with change? Which I remember here, there was something, someone has to deal with change. So do we have, are we willing to go through that? Are we willing to go through the changes that's necessary so that we can get into that power, that abundance, and strive for those better things in life? And interesting here with the number 3, as we move towards the next part of the week here, it's about manifestation. With the number 3, we're looking at what is it that we want to bring forth? What do we need to say? And we talked about communication here in this question here as well. So there's a few things here. The vibration of the number 8, as it's combined with a 5 and a 3 represented here, we see a lot of dynamics here, of somewhat of a struggle about our personal freedoms, and also struggle with, trying to still get what we want. And we saw that in the temptations, we saw here in these cards here, where are we giving up something to gain something? And what is it ultimately that we want? In that number 8, we see that we would love to have more. We would love to tap into wealth. We would love more abundance. We would love more beauty in our life. We would love more enriching relationships. And that's what we would like. But the struggle still lies in, are we willing to change enough? Are we willing to do what we need to do to make these things come through in our life? So that is a really intense message, especially the way that this is playing, feeling this torn over here. And at the same time, what are we dealing with? Pleasures and temptations, angels and demons. What are we looking at here? What are we struggling with? And at the end of the day, what we need to do is tap into the inner wisdom, tap into the divine guidance. And as I've mentioned, in numerology, the numbers have a certain vibration and a certain energy that draws them. So the vibration and the message coming from this at the end, when we bring that 8, the number 8 together, having it stand for itself, is the vibrations of abundance, of wealth, inner wisdom, integrity. As we see what we're struggling when it's divided by the 5 and the 3, are we willing to go through those challenges to get what we want? Are we willing to seriously focus on manifesting our goals and dreams? Or are we going to give up? Are we going to go for the short-term gains and avoid all the lessons that we can learn from the experiences going through for the long-term goal? So here, the number 8 is reminding us that if we can tap into inner wisdom and move through the week with that sense that there is a higher power working within us, helping us and guiding us through our challenges. All right, we are now going to move on to the next section, which is the 1-minute meditation and affirmation. I will ring the bell twice, one at the beginning of the minute, so you can close your eyes and you can allow yourself this 1-minute vacation, suspended from anything and any distraction. And then at the end of the minute, I will ring the bell so you can open your eyes and come back feeling refreshed and invigorated. So I invite you within that minute of peace to focus on either your breath, breathing in and breathing out, observing how you breathe in and out. You could even count your breaths going in and out. You can feel the sensation of your body as it inhales and exhales. You can feel the breath as coming out of your body. Was it warm? Is it cool? Or you can focus on sounds. You can focus on your ears. What are the sounds that you hear in the space that you're at? A little creak here, maybe a noise from the streets, maybe somebody talking afar, or birds or other noises. And just kind of, how far can you stretch the sound? How far can you reach hearing? Or you can focus on temperature. You can kind of feel and focus on the ambience of the air around your skin. Is it warm? Is it cool? Where are you feeling more sensations of hot or cold? Or you can go inside your body and kind of go and feel, where does it hurt? A little creak here, a little pain here. How does your body feel? And send love and light to those areas and give it permission to move on and move on and out. Or you can focus on the back of your eyes. You know, if you have your eyes closed, what colors are bouncing off the back of your eyes? Do you see any shapes? What are the different colors that are showing up? And so use this 1 minute of peace to focus on you and your environment and the spirit within and your body around that spirit, and who is really doing all this observation. All right, so let's do that. All right, my dear one, hopefully this will give you a sense of feeling so good and refreshed and peaceful. I hope you enjoy that. And the affirmation for this week, I will state it once, and you can say it with me out loud or to yourself. And if it resonates with you, let it stay with you as it can work with you through the week. Each and every day, I am getting closer to achieving my goals. Each and every day, I am getting closer to achieving my goals. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed this session. I enjoyed it immensely. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me. I have enjoyed my time with you and sharing all this beautiful information. And if it helps you get through your day, then I have done something beautiful in the world. And thank you for allowing me to do that for you. Also wanted to say, hit that like button, share the video, leave your comments, and subscribe to my channel. All right, and I will see you at the next video. So if you want, hit the bell so you can get notified when I put up the next video. So thank you so very much, and until then, be blessed.